Hi, thanks for joining me. This is Darlene from darlenestampandspot.com, and this is the project I'm making for you today. And this is another video in my 2018 craft show series that is here on YouTube. Isn't it cute? These are great sellers at my craft fairs. I make them every year, and I do them for pretty much all of the holidays, but especially Halloween and Christmas. So let me tell you the supplies you're gonna need. I'm using the Spooky Sweets stamp set in the holiday catalog, and we're gonna be using the Spooky Sweets right there. And I've got my, this is a red rubber stamp, so I've got my Stays On ink here, because that's what you need to use with the red rubber. And for consumables, let's see, we've got, this is really just a scrap of our Gorgeous Grape cardstock, and this is for the tray. Here I've used crushed curry to match with the designer paper. So we're gonna cut and score this together. So you're gonna need that. And you need a piece that is 4 inches by 1 7/8, and then we're gonna do a couple of little scores, okay? And then I've got a piece of the Cauldron Bubble, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it. I think it's the Cauldron Bubble Toil and Trouble Designer Series paper. I apologize. I'll have the correct name of everything in the blog post with the supply list. And so this is just cut at 1 by 3, and this is what I use to wrap my Hershey Nuggets. I've already wrapped 3 of them, so we're just gonna do one together. And then I've also got scraps of Whisper White for a 1 1/4 inch circle. I've got Basic Black, which is a 1 3/8 scallop circle. I've got another small strip because I want to punch this out with our Spooky Bats punch. And then finally, I have a scrap of Gorgeous Grape, and that is for our 1 1/2 inch circle punch. So a lot of punches. When I'm doing craft fair projects, I like quick and simple. So I love embossing and our framelits and dies that we have, but I've got to make it quick and I've got to make it simple. Okay, so I am just going to pull out, we've got one of our 2 by 8 cellophane bags. You can find these in our annual catalog. And then I'm also using our Gorgeous Grape mini striped ribbon. This is my favorite ribbon. We also have it in Bermuda Bay and Poppy Parade. I love it. Okay, so let me bring in the Stampin' Trimmer. Get that out of the way for a second. And so this piece of paper, and I'm not sure that I'm gonna be able to zoom in, so I might just have to raise it up. So here is, it's already cut to 4 inches, and I need to cut it at 1 7/8. And 1 7/8 is the last large tick mark right before the 2. So let me see if I can't hold that up and see if it'll focus. So 1 7/8 is this one right here, right before the 2. Okay? So I'm just gonna cut that. Okay, and make sure now my scoring blade is down at the bottom, because now we're gonna score with this as well. So it's a little easier to hang on to a piece of cardstock that's this size and score it over here on the right hand side. So the very first mark past the cutting track is a 1/4 inch, okay? And that's what you wanna score. So we're just gonna line this up over here to that first line that you can see on the right hand side, and we're just gonna score that. And then I'm gonna flip it and do the same thing to the other side. Oops. Okay, there we go. And that is it. Okay, next I wanna go ahead and do the stamping. And let me bring in my Whisper White scrap here. Stays on. Ink that up. Okay. I used that in a class last night, so I'm hoping that I don't need to re-ink it. I think it's going to be fine. And I'm just going to stamp that down. I'm going to hold it for just a few seconds. I'm giving some light pressure. I'm not smashing down on it. Just give it time for that ink to transfer onto the cardstock. And there we go. Look at that. I love the images that the Stays On ink, the results of it. It's just, it's gorgeous to me. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap my little nugget, and then we will cut out, punch out, and then assemble. This is a really quick project. And what I like to do is I just use some regular tape. I don't like to tape the pieces of the designer paper to the actual candy, and some people do, some people, you know, this is the way that I prefer to do it, and that way it's easier for someone to just slip off the paper and get to the treat, which is what they really want anyway, right? So all I'm doing is just wrapping this around. There's no need to do any scoring or anything. And I've got it a little tight, so I'm actually just gonna back up just a smidge because, you know, I want it to be able for them to slide it off and on easily. And then this is where I put my tape on the bottom right here. And then now you still have the ability to slide this on and off and get your treat out. Okay, so there's that. We're going to fold up, excuse my reach, I forgot my bone folder, which is right here in front of me. So I'm just going to, and you got to be careful with these just because it's a small piece, but because we've scored it, you should be okay, not have any trouble. Then I like to go ahead and place a couple of the nuggets in there. And I'm going to open up the bag and get this started in here. And the bag is 2 inches across, of course. We've cut this at 1 7/8, but then we've also folded it up. So it's not a really tight fit, but I mean, you got to work with it. Okay, so once you get it in there, then I like to go ahead and put in the rest of my candy. And I'm just going to push this down all the way to the end. You could take your bone folder to kind of help and get this all the way to the bottom of the bag. Sometimes you can shake it down just a little bit, and I want my holder to be down just a bit more, and then I can kind of push the candy up to where it's hidden. So there we go. So that's the way I like it. Okay, so let's do our punching. I've got the 1 1/4 inch circle punch for our sentiment. And I'm gonna do this, I'm centering it from right to left, but I wanna scoot it more down to the bottom because we're gonna attach our little bat there, and I want there to be enough room for that guy. So we're just gonna punch that, and a little hole-in-one there. Let's see, basic black, and I've got our 1 3/8 inch scallop punch. And get that layer, and I've got finally the 1 1/2 inch punch, and I'm going to use that with the gorgeous grape scrap. There we go. And then the reason why I have such a skinny piece of this black is because, you know, I try to conserve and not, you know, I don't want to waste my cardstock, and I'm only after this middle bat here. That's the only one that I want for this project. So I've just cut a strip that's wide enough to punch him out and not have a whole lot of waste. So, you know, that's the only part. Okay. Craft fairs take a lot of product, and I am all about saving as much as I can. I'm not being cheap, but you know, it's I just don't like to waste. Okay, so what we're gonna do is put snail on the back of this one. Nope. Snail on the back of this one. Sorry about that. Okay, and this is going to go down onto our gorgeous grape circle, and that looks good. Actually, no it doesn't. Hang on, come back here. Let me just slide it up just a bit. There we go. Okay, that's better. All right, and then I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of here. This dimensional backing stuck to my finger there. I probably have glue on it. Okay, so then we're just going to center that, and then I've got our little bat. I'm going to put him on a glue dot, but then I'm going to wait to attach him until we get it all together. So let me just bring in our ribbon, and I'm going to go ahead and tie it in a bow. So I'm just going to pull it around, or about as much as I think that I'm going to need to be able to tie a bow. I don't really have a measurement. So you just pull out how much ever, you know, you think you need to get a bow tied. And I'm so sorry about that. Let me bring this up. Okay. So we're gonna pull this tight, okay, and we're gonna just tie it in a knot first. And that's gonna help pull that together. And I want it to go down just a little bit. There we go. You can always cut off the top of the bag if you think it's too long. Okay, so hold that tight and make your loop and come around, push this through and make another loop, and hopefully it will lay flat. And it's not twisted, but it's not quite turned. There we go. It was coming through crooked. Okay. And then I'm just going to pull and tug on the loops and the tails until I get it to where I like it. And I'm pretty picky about my bows. So you know what? That looks pretty good. And so this one is already cut like that. So I'm just going to come over here and cut that one like that. I think it's fun to leave the tails a little long. It helps to kind of dress up the package. So there we go. And I will go back later and fix that because it's coming through crooked and it won't stop twisting, and that's going to bother me. So, okay. Dimensional again on the back of this one. This is craft fair items. These are going to be picked up and handled a lot, so I am going to use 2 dimensionals. We don't want anything falling off, right? Come here. Okay. There we go. And then I just kind of put this in the center of those 2 middle nuggets there. And then I'm just going to, so I've got the glue dot on the back of the body of the little bat. And so right next to where the ears are, I'm just going to kind of pinch that up a little bit on both sides. And just to give it a little, I don't know, make it look like it's flying or getting ready to take off. And then I'm just going to stick that right up here. See, we left, that's why we stamped this more towards the bottom, so we left room for our spooky bat. And there you go. So here is my original, and here's the one I made with you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.